Hi, I'm Diana, founder of ZeroWork. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a taskbot that iterates over your existing Google Sheet or data table and visits profile links which are recorded there. So let's get started. Let's create a new taskbot. Let's give it a name. Let's now add a data table. In this case, I'm not going to use the option create new data table anymore, but instead I'm going to use add existing data table. That's because in the previous videos I showed you how to save a list of profiles to a data table, and so I already have a data table with the recorded links. So now the data table is added here, and of course you could also just create a new data table and, for example, import data from a Google Sheet or a CSV file. So here, since we are looping through the rows in the data table, let's check how our data table is set up. So I've got here the name, the profile link, first and last name, and now I would like the taskbot to visit every profile. So let's click on a few profiles and see what I would like my taskbot to do there. I would like my taskbot to actually save the job title information, then click on the button See More, and also save the About Me section text. Also note that some profiles, such as for example this one, have a shorter description in the About Me section, and they don't have See More button. And because they don't have a See More button, I would also need to add some logic for the taskbot to first check if there is a button which says See More, and only then click on it. Alright, I would also like to add now two columns for saving that data. For one, I would like to be saving About, and for another, job title. Alright, and now let's get started. First, we need a loop because we are iterating over the rows in this data table. So let's select Dynamic. That's the loop type that iterates over rows in a data table, and the data table is going to be profiles. Now, let's add a building block open link because we want to open the profile links. We need to add a reference to the data table because we need our taskbot to take the links from the data table from the column profile link. I would also like to add a bit more delay here. Save. Then I'm adding the building block save web element because I want my taskbot to be saving the job title to the column job title. In order to get the selector, I'm just going to use this plugin called CopyCS Selector because it works just fine here. CopyCSS Selector plugin works in a way that you just right-click on this element like so. So you just hover and then do right-click, then copy, and it frames the element that it copied the selector for. It's a free of charge plugin, and you can just go to Chrome Store and add it for free. Alright, so let's add the selector right here. Save. Next, I'm going to check if there is a See More button. So let's reload this profile so that I can show you that button. So the button is this one, See More, and I would like to first check if there is any button like that, because for example other profiles do not have any button like that. So I'm going to use text. That's the way for the taskbot to click on something that contains this text or is labeled by this text. So I'm just going to enter See More, like so. And I'm also going to copy this because I'm going to use it also in the next building block, which is click web element. So I'm going to click on it only if that selector, if that element is found. So that's why I'm continuing here after the path found. And here I'm going to paste what I've entered before. I also don't think I need such a long delay as to wait for 1 second. So click web element has a default delay of 1 second, but you can always change it, just like I'm doing it right now. Save. Then let's add another building block, save web element, and this is where we're going to save the description. So again, let's use this copy CSS selector to save the selector of the About Me description. So saving it to profiles, about, save. Now I'm going to connect these two building blocks as well as these two. So in other words, if the button see more is not found, then the taskbot is just going to continue with saving that text directly. Okay, that's also auto-align. And now let's also copy the cookies, because this is a new taskbot and I haven't yet copied the cookies. Okay. One last thing that I want to add is to add a repetition limit. I would like to limit it to just 3. So taskbot is going to visit 3 profiles and then stop. The reason I'm doing it is just to save us time so that you don't need to watch this video for too long. Okay, so here's the first profile being visited. See more was clicked. Second profile, and there is one more to go. Okay, now we've got, however, a result which says could run to completion, but some actions failed. So let's see how to investigate this. Let's go to the reports. Let's view the error detail, and it says the website does not have an element, and this is the element for About Me section. So the reason this is not working out, or there is an error on this, is that when we visit this profile, we will see that this profile does not contain any About Me section. So it has activity experience but no About Me section. That's because About Me section is optional on LinkedIn. So some people can fill it out and some leave it empty. So let's add another check web element. This is how we can do it. So before we save that, we need to first check if there is About Me section at all. So if it's found, then we're going to save it, and if there is none, then this is just going to end in an empty path that doesn't do anything. All right. Now with this, the problem will be solved. Okay, but now let's check the results and see if the information was saved correctly. We see that the job title is here and is correct. We also see here About Me section as well as here.